So as we take each posture, the idea is to go inward with each posture and also to slow it down. So I mentioned the tortoise and the hare, and the tortoise is going to make smarter decisions. The tortoise may be slower in getting where it wants to go, but there's going to be less mistakes on the way. Same thing with our asana. So when we're in our asana practice, a lot of times we kind of hurry through it, especially those ones that we don't like. So the challenge is to stay with your practice. Stay with each pose, bring each breath fully into the asana. The other part that we're going to bring into is when we're talking about breath work is Brahmari breath. And anybody that practices with me regularly knows that this is my most favorite breath besides the alternate nostril. And going back to what I talked about earlier with the lesson from inflammation, all of those things, the Brahmari breath, which is the humming bee breath, takes you straight there. And I did put a link in the email to you guys on my website. Okay, and so you always have that for reference. And that is a very basic Brahmari breath. There's more advanced Brahmari breaths, but that's the basic one. And so I encourage you to practice that. And before we get started, because I'm going to bring it in multiple times throughout class, you simply inhale, you fully inhale the lungs, pause, and then you exhale and you hum. As long as you can. Okay, so you want to try to elongate that breath as long as you possibly can. Okay. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. And we're going to go ahead if you want to, if you're going to use your playlist, you have that. You go ahead and start that whenever you like, and you come on to the top of your mat in mountain pose. So as you come to the top of your mat in mountain pose, your feet can be together, the feet can be further apart. It's going to depend on how you feel. You would have some freedom in your pelvis. You're going to reach through the fingertips, maybe turn the palms inward towards your thighs or forward, depending on what feels best. So we're going to start to build this inner core line from the instep of the foot all the way through the crown of the head. So you start to move from the inside out. And as much as you can, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. So you're going to breathe some space into your ribs. Inhale, fill the lungs up completely. Pause, exhale, empty the lungs. Pause. And maybe setting that intention to stay present. Just stay where you are. Notice when you want to hurry out of a pose, where you want to get out of it. How can you create the security of being in the shell of that pose? And draw all of those senses in. And on an inhale, we're going to float those arms up and we'll reach through the heart. Arms extending. Exhale, hands back to the heart. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale to the heart. Inhale, reach it up. Right arm comes down. Inhale, lengthen through the side body. Exhale as you fold. So you're going to root down through the feet and you're extending and reaching up through the ribs. So it doesn't matter how deep you go into your bend. Again, less is more. You're breathing space into the body. You can look down, you can look forward or up, whatever feels best. You're going to root down through the feet. Inhale, rise, get long. Other side, exhale. And again, opening up space in that side body, breathing down through the heel, reaching up through the wrist. Inhale, lengthen, exhaling, fold, creating space. Inhale, rise, bending your knees, hands to your thighs. Without bending the elbows, we just begin to undulate the spine. So as you inhale, move the heart forward. The tailbone's going to go back like that. So you undulate the spine. Exhale, round, chin to chest. Inhale, open the body. Exhale, close the body. And from here, you're going to root down through your feet. Inhale, rise back up. Exhale, bend into your knees. Now from here, as you exhale, I'm going to come into kind of a prayer twist here. So I'm bending my knees, forearm can come across the thigh, hand to your hip. Okay, so less is more. You want to watch how deep you're twisting. Maybe you bring your elbow to the outside. Okay. So I'm going to keep giving options. Again, you do you. You need more, you take more. You need less, take less. Those of you that really want to work on your balance, maybe you start to shift your weight into that right foot and that left heel comes up to your seat. You can kind of play with that. Again, it's your practice today. Root down through the feet. Inhale, rise. Exhale, bend the knees. Once again, building your twist, right? You might even be up here. You don't have to be all the way down. Again, maybe shifting your weight to the foot, heel to seat. Engage the belly, inhale, rise all the way up. Now coming into the idea of forward fold. Bend your knees deeply, bring your hands to your hips. Exhale, fold, belly, ribs, chest to the thighs. So I've always got my heart open, tailbone reaching back rather than rounding. If you're rounding, come up out of it a little bit. Bend your knees a little bit more. So think belly, ribs, chest. Maybe your hands come to your block. Okay. Maybe they're to the earth. Maybe you're engaging your thigh muscles as the hamstrings release. Now from here, I'm going to take your left hand to your block, bend into your left knee, inhale, right arm up. Tailbone reaches back, crown reaches forward. So if you're rounding, come up a little bit higher. Right, so find that space. We got a pretty deep back bend today. The revolved triangle is going to be coming up, and that's a really, or not back bend, but twist. So really want to prep for that. Exhale, bring the hand down and switch. Right knee bend, inhale, left arm up. If you think about inhale, lengthen the spine, exhale as you twist in that space that you've just created. And exhale, fold. If you've got your strap or a towel, whatever you have, grab it, bend your knees, press through the feet, inhale, rise. You're going to take the strap behind you, spending a little bit more time, again, opening up the body in the warm-up because we have some intense poses right off the bat, so we want to be open for it. So you can grab onto your strap, okay. Lift through the heart, bend your knees, exhale, fold, belly, ribs, chest. So start to get into your shoulders. Maybe you're down low, maybe you're high, maybe your hands can come together, right? Less is more, right? So you figure out where you want to be. Maybe your hands are behind your back. Think about moving the heart and the hips away from one another. Couple more breaths here. Inhale where you feel tension, exhale to release that tension. One breath at a time. And on an exhale, release your strap or whatever you have, hands to the earth or the shins. Inhale, lift half. Exhale, fold. Bend into your knees, press through the feet. Inhale, rise, fierce pose. Exhale, right hand back, left arm forward. So from here, you're going to reach through the fingertips, and then as you exhale, slowly start to twist. So I'm twisting, my tailbone's going back, but I'm opening up. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist. The gentle twist. Press with the feet. Inhale, rise. Surya Namaskar A, sun salutation. We're going to build it. Exhale, fold, belly, ribs, chest to the thigh. Inhale, lift half. Exhale, fold. Plant those hands down, step it back to your plank pose. Now knees can come down or you can keep the knees up. Okay. Press through the four corners of the feet as you reach to the crown. And start to build some heat wherever you are. All right, so you can grab your block, place your block in between the thighs if you need a little bit more support for your pelvis. Take some of that strain out of the shoulders. Couple more breaths. Remember, if you start to hold your breath, come out of the pose. The whole point is how do we balance the nervous system? It's with our breath. And so being like the tortoise, slow down when you need to. And then as you lower, those of you that have chaturanga, go ahead and go all the way to chaturanga. Otherwise, bend your elbows, slowly lower all the way down. Hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale, lift the heart. Maybe stay low, maybe press through the palms and rise, upward facing dog. Now to transition to downward facing dog, either press back into child's pose first, then downward dog, or curl the toes under, exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, knee to nose. Bring that foot through, even bring that back knee down and bring that foot through. Root down through the feet. Inhale, rise, crescent. To have that back bend, a lot of forward folds to get some back bend, shin to heart. Exhale, hands to the earth. Step it back. So knee down, plank, plank, whatever you need. Exhale, chaturanga or all the way down. Inhale, lower high. Exhale, your transition downward facing. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, knee to nose. However you got to get there, right? And come on that back knee, however you need to go. Inhale, rise. Arms up or down, depending on the level of intensity that you need. Inhale, reach those arms up. Exhale, hands to the earth, step it back. Inhale, your variation of plank. Exhale, chaturanga or down. Inhale, low or high. Exhale, downward facing. Right here, 3 humming deep breaths, 3 bumming breaths. Inhale through your nose. Exhale, hum. Gaze between those hands. Exhale, step or float it. Inhale, lift half. Exhale, fold. Plant through the feet. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to the heart. So adding on to that, again, you, do what feels best. Inhale, reach those arms up. Exhale, fold, maybe bend into your knees a little or a lot. Inhale, lift half. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back. You can go through that flow or stay in downward facing dog and wait. Some of you might need more movement, some of you less. Inhale, left leg. Exhale, knee to nose. Shocker coming up. We're going to do Warrior One. That's twice in 5 weeks. I'm teaching Warrior One, and you guys, most of you know I don't like that pose. So back foot, we're going to pop it in. Heel down, toes out. So I've got my pelvis level. We're going to root down through the feet, inhale, rise. So you have that Warrior One. Maybe straighten and bend the front leg. You want to make sure that you're not feeling it in your lower back. If you're feeling it in your lower back, bring that back foot forward a little bit more. And inhale, extend, reach those arms up. Exhale, sweep those hands behind. So just like where we were before, opening the heart. Inhale, lift. You can even straighten the front knee if you'd like. See how that feels. And exhale, we're going to hinge forward and stop about halfway. Hands can come to your shin or they can come to the block. Engage that left thigh muscle so that front knee is either going to stay bent or it'll be straight. Your choice. But what I'm looking for is length, tail to crown. Do a plank pose. Now from here, we're going to add revolve to triangle. So this is that deep twist we've been working towards. We're going to keep the spine long. Okay. And you can have your right hand on your block, left hand at your hip if you'd like, or extend. Maybe extending reach like this, right? Keep the length, hip to wrist. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist, right? Or inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. Again, maybe there's a bend in that left knee. Notice you start to hold your breath. Again, be like the tortoise, long, smooth, spacious breath. Go back into the fullness of the pose. When you start to want to reach out of it, how can you adjust it to find the comfort in your own nervous system? So there's a balance between the challenge and easing back. Only you know where that's going to be. You'll know how it feels. From here, bend into the left knee, back foot spirals down. Inhale. We're going to pass through Warrior Two, reverse. Front palm up, inhale. So you would think about both sides of the torso reaching up and back. If you need more, maybe the back hand comes up. Maybe you straighten the front knee. You're going to play with that. See what feels best. Where do you feel more balanced? On an inhale, 5-pointed star. So from here, we're going to take the heels out and toes in, hands to your hip. Inhale, lengthen the spine, exhale, stop about halfway. You're going to press your upper thigh bones back as the crown of the head reaches forward. Then from there, exhale, fold. So again, you might need to bend your knees. We're thinking about the pelvis rotating around the femur bone. Doesn't matter how low you come, you want to keep the spine long. Maybe some of you are down to your block or the earth. Maybe some of you walk your hands back. Maybe you build your tripod, wherever you want to go with it. We have breathing space into the meat of the muscle. So if you're still feeling it at this point behind the knees more than in the calves or the hamstring, bring your feet a little bit closer, maybe bend your knees. Again, you're creating spaciousness. So we're getting away from that resistance. We're slowing down like the tortoise. Couple more breaths. Now bending into your knees, we're going to press through the feet, inhale, rise, 5-pointed star, opening up, Warrior Two. Then from there, you're going to straighten the front knee, turn the front palm up, inhale, reach forward. So to find that triangle pose, all that movement is in your pelvis, bottom hand to your block of your shin, maybe you're up high, right? Doesn't matter, top hand can be your hip or overhead. Maybe over your ear, maybe both, right? You play with that, couple more breaths. Full, complete, spacious breath as you practice. If you're ever comfortable, you can even try closing your eyes and see what happens. Again, drawing the senses inward. Now from here, I'm going to bend into that bottom knee. So I'm just going to kind of pass through side angle. Forearm can be on the thigh. Bottom hand can be down. Top arm up or over your ear. Or if you're loving the binds, okay, hand to hand, just resist the urge to drop that top shoulder forward. Keep the heart open. Remember, you can grab your towel, your strap, whatever you need. All right, so from here, Ardha Chandrasana, balancing half moon. So you're gonna gaze past your foot. I like to take my thumb to my pinky toe, walk it forward, bring my back foot up. Okay, maybe even have your block. Those of you that are still working on this and the balance is a little bit challenging, bring both hands to your block and start to just like stack your hip. Stack your hip, torso, then your shoulders. So you figure out where you want to be. Maybe you have a bind there. Whatever variation you want to take, kind of play with that. It's okay if gravity wins. You can play with gravity a little bit. If you've got that back leg up, trust it to land. Bend into your knees, step it back. Maybe a big inhale, reverse. Fill your lungs. Exhale, windmill it down. Now here you can go through a flow or press back into downward facing dog, your choice. Now in downward facing dog or child's pose, 3 more humming deep breaths. Inhale through the nose, exhale, hum. Prepare for the other side, new experience. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, knee to nose, take your time, bring that foot forward. Back foot, step it up. Heel in, toe out, root down through your feet. Inhale, rise, keep the spine long. So you're building that warrior one. Arms can be up or at your heart or your hips. And again, maybe straighten the front knee, bend into it. Again, okay, the more we draw our senses inward, the more we can feel how each pose affects the body. Okay? So in this one, you want freedom in the pelvis. If you feel it, kind of click it into that lower back, bring that back foot forward a little bit more. Now inhale, reach those arms up. Exhale, sweep those hands behind, interlace, lift through the heart. Exhale, fold, belly, ribs, chest to the thigh. So tailbone reaches back, crown of the head reaches forward. You choose where you want to go. And then from here, we're going to bring your hands to your block, the shin or the earth. I'm going to keep the spine long, engage that right thigh muscle. So maybe that front leg straightens, maybe it stays bent. So from here, you can bring that right hand to your hip if you'd like and slowly twist or extend fingertip to fingertip. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. Then you bring your hands out. So again, block, earth, whatever works. Again, notice all the sensation in your body. Notice if you're holding your breath, right? Back off if you're holding your breath. Balance to the nervous system. We have plenty of fight or flight right now. to get ready to exit, bend into the front knee, maybe step that back foot back a little bit more. Inhale, reverse that warrior two. Both sides of the torso reaching up and back. So make sure that back foot's turned maybe slightly in, depending on how your knee feels. Front toes are forward. So you're going back and you're adjusting. So full awareness, taking it slow. You get to go faster like the hare in a minute if you want to. We're trying to figure out where our bodies are this morning first. Root down through the feet. Inhale, rise, 5 pointed. Once again, so here's this forward fold. Hands to your heart or your hip. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Again, remember you can bend into your knees. So there is a standing Karmasana or standing tortoise pose. Do you start to walk your hands back? So some of you are going to stay, right, wherever it feels best, right? Pelvis rotating around the femur bones. Maybe some of you want to start to walk your block back, or your hands back. And notice any tendency to start to round in the spine. Like I start to round about right here. So that's as far as I'm going to go today. Then you can start to walk your feet in a little bit. So walk the feet in. Those of you that want to do firefly pose, the arm balance, go for it. My body's not doing it today. So you can play with that. And I'm ashamed to say I've been on TikTok on the yoga section. Nobody over 30 should be on TikTok, but I was. And there was this woman and her head was coming all the way through in this pose. Crazy. I'm going to get ready to come out. Inhale, rise. Root down through the feet all the way up. Inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Straighten the front knee, front palm up. Inhale, reach it forward. All sides of the torso nice and long. Again, you can bend into your knee, whatever feels best. Look up, forward or down. Again, maybe your arms are like forward. You play with where you want to take that. Couple more breaths. You're rooting down through the feet and the ribs, you're breathing, so you're expansive. And now, side angle pose. So bend into your knee. Hands can be on the ground, forearm to the thigh, top hand to your hip, right? Or your bind if you're working more on those binds, especially those of you who are going to start working on going into the tortoise. Again, lots of shoulder stuff at the end. So again, find where you want to be. A few more breaths to play. If you're ever comfortable, again, close your eyes. If you're comfortable, take the senses inward. Now in preparation for Ardha Chandrasana, that balance pose. Okay. So again, maybe you're taking your hand down, walk it forward, back foot up. I've got both feet active. That top foot is flexed, both feet, right? You find where you want to go, or both hands to your block. You can even come to a wall. I love practicing on the wall. I just step forward and then slowly open up. I've got the wall behind me. Couple more breaths. Trust that back foot to land all the way back. Inhale, reverse. And exhale to go through your flow. Okay, so you go through that flow if you'd like, or step back into downward facing dog or child's pose. On an inhale, I'm going to peel the torso up. Cross your ankles to come onto your seat, or however you want to get there, any transition that works for you. You take the soles of the feet to the earth, spine is long. So this is another position where we tend to kind of round into your back. Okay? So in both pose, depending on where you are and where you're activating, instead of it being a core, it goes into the hip flexors, which most of us don't need a lot of hip flexor strengthening because we sit so much. So let's see if we can take this into the whole body. So you can grab a block if you'd like and place that block in between your thighs and you squeeze it. It's going to start taking it more into your core. Okay. If you find you're rounding in your back, bring your hands behind you. So you can play with that. Maybe the legs straighten, maybe your arms extend. Now maybe you stay there or maybe you play with sinking your boat. So exhale, lower, inhale, rise. Or you can reverse that breath, whatever feels best to you, or hold. Okay? So if you sink your boat and you hold, I'm going to try and gaze past the toes. It's going to be a little bit more challenge. Now, if you have back disharmony, you might take your hands underneath your seat if you're doing that. A few more breaths. And exhale, release. 3 humming bee breaths right here on your back. Inhale through your nose, exhale, hum. Go ahead and bring the knees into your chest. Now here you can roll. You take some rolls, get up on your feet, coming to standing if you'd like. Or if you're like, yeah, no, turn to your side, slowly rise, maybe sweep those feet back. And walk those feet forward. Then root down through the feet, inhale, rise. All right, so we're gonna go through that flow one more time. Again, tortoise hair. Go at your own pace rather than my cueing. Stay with your breath. Do more if you need more, do less if you need less. I'm gonna add just one more little option in there and you can take if you'd like. I'm gonna root down through your feet. Inhale, reach those arms up. Exhale, fold, belly, ribs, chest to the thigh. Inhale, lift half. Exhale, plant the hands, step or float it back, flow, or step back into downward facing and wait. On an inhale, left leg up. Exhale, knee to nose, however you've got to transition, bring that back foot in. Spine long, root to rise. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, sweep those hands behind. Interlace, lift through the heart. Exhale, hinge forward. Maybe straighten the front knee, maybe not. Inhale, lengthen, get long. Exhale, find your twist. Any variation you need to take. Now here's where you can add on. Okay. If you want to do revolved Ardha walk your block forward, maybe the back foot comes up, right? Or maybe you want to bring that hand down, bring your back knee down and add the twist there, right? So you can play with that. Again, those are a couple of really deep twists, really intense. So you do you. Couple more breaths, play with it. Maybe you got a bind there. Get ready to step that foot back all the way. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, thigh pointed. Heels in, toes out this time. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, cleansing breath. Because I know some of y'all are holding your breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Five-pointed star. Exhale, warrior two. Straighten the front knee. Inhale, triangle pose. Utthita Trikonasana, representing mind, body, spirit, all those triangles, all three of them. When you're ready, Ardha Chandrasana, your variation, balancing half moon, wherever you want to go. All right, find your bind if you'd like. Again, you're trying to root down through both feet. It will help stabilize the hip if you flex that top leg, top foot. Trust that foot to land, bend into the supporting leg. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, windmill it out, vinyasa or step back, downward facing. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale all the way through, back foot pops. Inhale, warrior one. Reach those hands behind, lift through the heart. Exhale, fold. Right, so adding that twist if you'd like. Right, so you can come here or extend, reach, any variation, couple breaths, right? Or you can always bring that back knee down. Now to get ready to add on, if you'd like, revolved Ardha Chandrasana, revolved half moon, back leg comes up, right? You might even have a bend in that right knee. It doesn't have to be straight. Okay, or you're back here or back here. Couple breaths. Maybe you feel that heat. So notice what's happening to your nervous system as you hold the pose. How do you bring it back to balance, right? The right level of challenge without compromising the breath. Trust that foot to land if it's up. Inhale, reverse. Inhale, open. Exhale, warrior two. Gonna reverse it. Both sides of the torso, reaching up and back. Straighten the front knee. Inhale, reach forward, triangle pose. Again, any variation. And Ardha Chandrasana, gonna pass through that side angle. Ardha Chandrasana, balancing half moon, any variation you like. Couple more breaths. Trust that foot to land all the way back. Inhale, five pointed. And from here, we're going to bend into your knees slowly to come into kind of a half goddess pose and press through the palms. If you want more, arms up. Maybe peel the heels away from the earth. You play with that, right? Hands to the heart, whatever feels. Full spacious breath. So again, you're taking the senses inward by calming the breath down. Long, smooth, spacious breath. One cleansing breath. Inhale, straighten the knees, reach the arms up. Exhale, cleansing breath. Inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Go through your flow or step back, downward facing. And exhale, child's pose. Toes together, knees apart. 3 humming bee breaths. Inhale through the nose, exhale, hum. You're going to come up and slowly lower all the way onto your belly.
And you play with where this back bend, where it needs to be. So for many people, the back bend feels fine. If you feel like when you come up, it gets into your lower back a little bit too much, rotate the pubic bone up towards the belly button, like so, and they'll give you more support. Okay, so only go, again, you're listening to your nervous system, right? Slow and steady, hands underneath the shoulders, maybe stay there and lift the heart, and maybe just play with kind of lowering and lifting. Or maybe your feet lift and your arms reach behind, maybe you clasp your hands. If you've got a lot of energy you need to burn off, take the arms forward. And wherever you are, when you're breathing, you're gonna feel yourself ebb and flow. So it's like, inhale, you feel yourself lift and lighten. Exhale, you feel yourself sink. Notice if you're clenching anywhere. Full, spacious breath. And exhale, release. One more. You've got it left in you. Any variation. Those of you that want to go ahead and take it into bow pose, if you feel like doing that, grab onto your ankles, okay, and kick your ankles of your feet into your hand. Again, use your breath. Let the breath support you. If you hold your breath, it gets harder. Less is more. And hands underneath the shoulders. Exhale, press it back. Kind of neutralize the spine as you come back through tabletop position. And then slowly maybe round a little bit as you shift back. And then inhale to slowly rise. And then come onto your seat. So you might want to, wherever your mat is, we're going to open up into a straddle. So you might want your heels on your mat. And then you have a blanket or a small pillow or something like that sitting on the very edge of that. So that, again, we've been going through this several times, but when you come into a forward fold, if you have any back disharmony, especially when we're seated, it puts a lot of strain on your spine when you roll, okay, into your spine. So still we want to practice rotating pelvis around the femur bones. Okay? So the first place we're going to be is soles of the feet together, knees out to the side. Okay, so the butterfly position. And for some of you, this is like enough, right? If your knees are really high, you can place a block underneath each knee. But this is where we've been dissecting Karmasana or tortoise pose, right? So every stage matters. It's just like building a house. You don't want to forget the foundation. So fingertips behind, lift through the heart, maybe exhale, fold. Maybe some of you fold and you're like right in your feet. Maybe some of you are like, right there. Doesn't matter. Maybe the arms come forward, okay? So what we're gonna do is kind of work. Now you can play with this. Think of it as play. You can explore, okay? Or you can chill out right now. You can just go into this, again, portion of class and just chill out. So breathing space into the glutes, into the hips, right? And imagine that space where the femur bone goes into your pelvic girdle, all those connective tissues releasing. Inhale to that tension, exhale, let it go. Create a little bit more space. And the more tension that we're holding, the less aware we are. So the more we connect with the breath, the more we surrender. Now on an inhale, I'm going to slowly rise. Okay. Now those of you with any kind of shoulder disharmony, this part you're going to want to take with ease. Okay, so you want to use some caution as you move through. Okay. I can't see you, so I don't know. Okay. All right. So I'm going to draw my left foot in, my right leg out. I don't know if I'm mirrored. I still haven't figured this out on this thing. Anyway, one leg bent, other leg long. Now, if I want to start working on the shoulder thing, I'm going to reach forward. I'm going to reach forward, draw my elbow towards my hamstring, maybe reach my arm behind. Okay. Now see, this is where the shoulders need to be nice and open. So maybe you're there, maybe you take your leg out to the side, come up on your heel. So it's a half, right? And you can still see that I've got a bend in that knee. So I'm not gonna force it, I'm gonna let it be where it is. Now to rise out, I'm gonna bend into your knee, slowly come out. And then we'll switch sides, see what this side's gonna do. This is my challenging side. This one. All right, inhale, reach, maybe fold, maybe that's enough, right? Maybe elbow to the hamstring, maybe reach your arm back. So I'm still moving my heart forward as my tailbone reaches back, maybe come up on your heel and slowly lower. Full breath. Now to exit out of the pose, right? So maybe come through, slowly rise. Now I'm gonna give you an option. Those of you that wanna do your turtle, you come back here because we're gonna practice both sides. Otherwise, extend both legs out. Take your hands behind and slowly start to lower. So you can grab your block, place your block in front of you. Maybe you're up here, it doesn't matter. If it's still too much in your adductors, if you're feeling it too here, like especially up in the groin area, bring the soles of the feet back together. Go back there, okay? All right, those of you that are practicing your tortoise, feet out to the side. So I'm gonna rotate forward. So think about, so all of the limbs, head, legs, arms, all represent the senses. Okay, and Pratyahara is about drawing those senses inward, right? So if I draw my elbows to my hamstring, reach my hands back, come up on my heels, I'm just about ready. So I'm gonna slowly lower and fold. You can stay there as long as you like. In any variation. Couple more breaths, not the most comfortable pose in the world, right? It's kind of awkward. And if you think about it, drawing the senses in is awkward because then we're in our head. We're not super busy, we're not running around like the hare. We're present, and that can be uncomfortable to be present. Couple more breaths, wherever you are, doesn't matter. All right, to get ready to exit, engage the belly, hands underneath the shoulder, and inhale, slowly rise. And also, I'm gonna bring the feet together, maybe kind of shake it out a little bit. I'm gonna get ready to come onto your back for just a few finishing postures. You're welcome to lower down, okay? You can use some more core if you need to work it out. Otherwise, turn onto your side maybe, and then come all the way onto your back. And as you're coming onto your back, if you feel like you need to do another little back bend, a little bridge, go for it. We're going to draw the knees into your chest, kind of rock side to side. I'm going to drop that right foot down. I'm going to draw that left thigh across. And so coming into, this is the reclining pigeon pose. So maybe you're here, maybe you lift the leg, maybe reach around for your hamstring. Any variation. Maybe extending if you want to reach peace fingers to toes. Again, inhale to tension, exhale to release that tension. And from here, we're going to slowly release. Draw that left knee into your chest, right leg extends. You're going to take your right hand to the outside of the left leg, slowly draw your knee across. That twist is initiated around mid-rib. You want to keep it out of your lower back, so just kind of mid-rib is where that initiation is. This leg can be up or it can be down. You can place a block or something underneath your knee if you'd like. and your left shoulder is glued down to the earth. It doesn't matter if that top leg touches. Notice where you're holding on to tension on this side of the body. Inhale to it, exhale, release it. And you slowly come out, engage the belly, inhale, come back to center. Left leg down, right knee into your chest. Cross the ankle on top. Maybe this is enough for some of you, even just lifting and placing the left foot on a block or something. Otherwise, we'll slowly draw the knee in. Again, on this side for me, I have less mobility. Okay, so I'm gonna do less, right? So again, you're meeting yourself where you are rather than forcing, like the hare would force, right? The tortoise is gonna slow down and pay attention. Again, any variation, if you still have a lot to give, you know, play with it. Short practice. Couple more breaths. Inhale that tension, exhale, let that tension go. And then slowly, I'm gonna extend that left leg out, right knee into your chest, slowly draw the knee across. Again, initiate around the ribs. Left arm out to the side, or right arm out to the side. We're gonna glue that right shoulder down. And maybe notice the difference on this side where you're holding tension. Again, Pratyahara is, when you think about withdrawing the senses as if there's nothing, this actually being more aware, right? We just don't label anything as a distraction. We're just noticing everything that's going on. Engage that belly, inhale, so slowly come back to center, both knees back to your chest. Again, maybe come to another twist on either side. So right here, anything that sequence didn't give you that you want to add to your practice, again, this is also about going inward. You know what you need that you didn't get. So you want to offer that to yourself right now, anything that you need, and then when you're ready, we're going to start to settle into Shavasana. And because Shavasana really is taking us towards that idea of Pratyahara, or withdrawing the senses, coming into the present, you want to be comfortable. So if you're uncomfortable, you're not going to be able to stay present. Okay? So maybe you take bolster underneath your knees. Maybe you rest in Shavasana, your corpse pose with the knees bent, and just allow the knees to fall together. And I've got my heels out and my toes in. And that, especially if you have a lower back disharmony, this is gonna give you a little bit more support there. So you find whatever feels comfortable to you, any variation. I'm gonna try rotating the palms up so that your shoulder blades move in towards your spine. And then take your tailbone wherever you are, even if the knees are bent, tilt the tailbone toward your heels. And that gives a little bit more support there. On a final 3 humming bee breaths. Inhale through the nose, exhale, hum. For the next several minutes, the true practice of that drawing the senses inward. Notice any external distractions that come in and just label them as a part of the environment. It's just part of the environment. Every time your mind wanders to something else, remember, we're going to try to be like the turtle. We're going to try to stay present. So if you start acting like the hare, tell the hare they can wait. They can do the work later. Give your nervous system a break. Begin to deepen your breath, becoming aware of the earth beneath you, the air above you, and all the sounds around you. You slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and toes and move your head side to side as you bring movement into the body. And maybe extending your arms overhead, give yourself a final big stretch. And drawing your knees into your chest one at a time. You slowly turn to your right side. And then using your left hand, slowly push yourself up to a comfortable seated position. And bringing the palms to face towards the heart center. So that Pratyahara, what my teacher, Dr. Crowley, says is the forgotten limb, is the idea of when we go into our own senses, we know exactly what we need. And we listen to all this external stuff. And I think for many of us, there's a lot of external stuff having to fall away just because of change. And the only thing that we have control over is what goes on here. And it's cool. I've seen some people really following their hearts, making some hard decisions, but that's the only way to have that security. So taking those palms, facing the heart, repeat in your mind or out loud. With great respect and love, I honor my heart, my true teacher. I'm bringing the palms together in Anjali Mudra. Sealing class with 3 Oms. You're welcome to join, or you can just listen. And maybe you have Oms to share with others. You can keep it for yourself or share. Inhale. Om.